Hey everyone, this is Karaleise and today we're going to be talking about the interview process. I want to be sharing some tips with you on how to conduct yourself in the interview, what to say, what to expect, and how to make the best impression to land that job. See you in a minute. So you've already gone through the process, you've already submitted your resume, you've already had the call, you did well on the call, and now they invite you to come in for the face-to-face interview. Yay! Congratulations, you made it this far. Now, all you got to do is go in there and knock them dead and get that job. It's okay. So, here is how you do that. The first thing is when they call you and they invite you or they send you an email and they give you an address and they give you a time, you want to make sure you clarify with them the parking situation. Because sometimes the parking can mess you up. Like the parking can be crazy. Sometimes people tell you to park somewhere else and walk to the building, or you got to pay for parking, or you got to have an access card to get in, and all kinds of stuff. So you want to clarify with them how the parking is going to work. That's if you're driving. If you're going to take a taxi or an Uber or whatever, then you don't have that problem. But if you're going to be driving, make sure you clarify with them how the parking is going to go. And then you want to clarify with them how to actually get into the room to do the interview. So sometimes when you get into the buildings, you may have to give a name for somebody to come down and collect you, or you may have to get an access or a pass card or something. They normally tell you these things when they invite you, but just to make sure you cover it, you need to ask if you have not been told. The access to get into the room and the parking, all right? So make sure you get those done. Then once you get there, well, actually before you get there, you want to go ahead and do some research. You want to research the interviewers. So sometimes they'll tell you you're going to have like a session between this time and this time with half an hour with this person and half an hour with that person and so on and so forth. Or they will tell you you'll be interviewed by our head of department, so-and-so. If they give you that information, that is great. Then what you need to do is you need to go research that person. So go on their LinkedIn, go on their Facebook, try and find out what you can, what is publicly available, and see what kind of personality they have, what kind of likes they have, the things that they talk about on their social media, the groups they follow, or whatever you can find that's publicly available, then use that. And if you have a picture, you can at least know what the person looks like, so that when you go in the interview, you can say, oh, you must be so-and-so. I saw that on the company website. You know what I mean? So that would be impressive. Now, do not send them any connection request. Don't try to connect with them on LinkedIn. Don't send them a Facebook friend request. Don't do it. I'll give you a quick story. So I was looking for a job, and it was being done through a recruiter who had connected me with a job. And I had gone through all the phases and jumped through all the hoops, and I was at the point of doing the face-to-face interview. So when I was told about the interview, I went online and I was looking up the person on LinkedIn. So I was looking through their profile and so on. And for some reason, my phone fell. And when I was picking my phone back up, I don't know what my finger pressed, and it sent out a connection request to the interviewer. I was like, oh my God, that was not what I was trying to do. But anyway, I didn't think it would be so detrimental. So a couple hours later, the recruiter called me and she was like, did you send a LinkedIn request to so-and-so? And I was like, yeah, but it was an accident. I really didn't plan to connect with her. And the recruiter was really upset with me, and she said the interviewer was upset, and she thought it was very unprofessional and blah, 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 blah. And she was going to cancel the interview. And I said, you know what? Maybe this is not the place for me to work. So I'm quite fine with her canceling the interview. That's fine. Because I was saying to myself, yeah, I shouldn't have sent it to her. And I didn't even see it to be a big deal. Okay, somebody sent you a connection request. Just don't accept it if you don't want them to connect with you. What kind of person thinks that they are so important that if somebody sends them a LinkedIn request and they have an interview with the person, that they are no longer going to do the interview because it's so offensive? I mean, what kind of people are in this world? Like, where do these people come from? So I was like, you know what? Maybe I dodged the bullet, because I cannot imagine working with someone who is that sensitive about everything. I cannot imagine working under someone who would be so ticked off at the slightest little thing that anyone does. I mean, what? So anyway, point is, do not send, learn from my mistake, do not send anyone a connection request, because you never know, those crazy people might be the ones who are going to interview you. So just to be safe. Smile. So when you're in the interview and they're talking to you, you're going to smile as you're talking. So I'm a smiler and a nodder. So like, yes. But not weird, like not crazy. Like if it's something where we're having a dialogue while they're speaking, I'm agreeing and I'm smiling if I agree and I like it. And I'm not going to smile just for smiling's sake. But just be natural, right? Be natural and pleasant. And make that come off easy and airy and free. Don't make it sound like don't make it feel like you're just faking it. You know what I mean? Don't be fake. Just be yourself, but be your most pleasant self. All right, dress nice. I know you know this already. Some of these things people know already. They think they know, but you'll be surprised how many people turn up at the interview and you know they know better, but they just, for some reason, maybe they were nervous, maybe they were rushing, I don't know, but they just flunked the interview because of simple little things. So listen to this video as a way to reinforce what you already know about how to conduct an interview. And if you're new to this interview process, you just left school or something, use this to learn so you don't make any mistakes, okay? So dress well. It's okay if the environment is a dress down, casual environment. When you go for the interview, you dress up. You dress professional. You look like you're there about business. When you get the job, you can always dress to match what everybody else is wearing. But for the interview, you need to stand out. You need to be well attired. You don't have to wear, like if you're a guy, you don't have to wear like a, jacket and all that stuff. You can wear a shirt and a tie and look professional. Or if you wear the jacket, it's even better. But look appropriate. Look professional, right? For ladies, if you wear heels, that's better. It doesn't have to be the very high ones, but a little heel to give you a little pep in your step. Make sure you wear something that covers your arms, like a jacket or a long sleeve blouse, and everything is nicely tucked in. Like if it needs a belt, it has the belt, so you don't have like your your pants falling down. You know what I mean? Like, just be professional, okay? I'm talking a lot about this, and it sounds like, duh, yeah, we know. But you'll be surprised. People lose interviews or lose the job because they don't dress for the job. And I'm like, why? Why did you wear sweatpants to the interview? Why? Why did you wear your jeans? Why did you wear your sneakers? Why? But they do it, so don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't let that be you, okay? Bring your resume. So always walk with a copy of your resume to make sure that you can hand it out in case the interviewer doesn't have it, and that you can speak to it as they ask you questions about your resume. Always have stories to back up what you're saying. So when they ask you a question, you answer, and then you give a story to kind of punctuate your answer. Right? So always have these stories. These stories help to make you memorable. They help to, you give a bit better impression if you can explain what you're saying with an example. And your example is what you did in your last job to accomplish something, and so on and so forth. So you really need to have these stories prepared in your head so that you can draw on them when you're in the interview. At the end of the interview, always have at least 3 questions for them, because that will show them that you are interested enough in their business, in the job, to actually have a question about it. So always have questions for the interviewer. That's very, very important. And the last thing I would say is always ask about next steps. So you've done the interview, you've answered the questions, you've smiled, you've shaken their hands firmly, you've done all the things. Now the interview is coming to an end and you want to find out what's the next step, right? So they'll probably tell you the normal thing, like we'll call you, we'll let you know, what we decide, blah, blah, blah. But at least when you ask them, it puts them in a position to give you an answer. And so most of the time you want to find out what's the waiting time, like how soon will you decide? Will it be the next couple of days? Will it be within the next 2 weeks? Like, what am I working with here? So you need to ask them about next steps. All right, so those were my tips for how to do the actual face-to-face interview. I know some of this, you know this already, and I know for some of you it's very new, but I hope it was helpful to all, and I wish you all the best in your job interview. You can get that job, okay? You can get that job. You have all that you need to get the job, and I have a lot of confidence that there are going to be people who are going to watch this video and go out there in confidence and step out and get that job. So hope it was useful, and leave some comments if you want me to make videos about anything else, and I will definitely make an effort to do that. So thank you for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Take care.